Welcome to Item Breakdown, a series where I analyze every single item in Mario Maker 2, go over their properties, and find interesting ways to use them in our own levels. This video is all about the Icicle.
You're lucky it didn't cut your eye. Those icicles have been known to kill people.
An icicle is a gizmo available in every game style. It is 1 tile wide and 2 tiles tall. It is not considered a solid object. Similar to semi-solid platforms, Toad and other entities can only stand on the very top of them, the surface of which being slippery. An icicle can overlap most other objects in the game, except for all solid terrain, items such as coins, big coins and pink coins, and gizmos such as checkpoint flags, conveyor belts, doors, dotted line blocks, on-off switches, P-blocks, as well as snake blocks and their paths. In the 3D World game style, they can also not overlap exclamation blocks in their paths, blinking blocks, dash blocks, keys, the tops of semi-solid platforms, track blocks in their paths, trees, and warp boxes. An icicle has one variant, a falling icicle. It is distinguished by its lighter color, the particles that drip off of it, and its visual shakiness when Toad is close to triggering it. A falling icicle will begin falling once Toad is either within 1 block beside or above it. If Toad is below a falling icicle, and as long as the falling icicle is at least 1 block within the camera border, this horizontal trigger is extended all the way downwards. A falling icicle will kill most enemies in its path, and shatters upon contact with any solid object or boss-like enemy. A falling icicle can trigger question mark blocks, brick blocks, note blocks, on-off switches, POW blocks, and P-switches. In the 3D World game style, it can also trigger exclamation point blocks and destroys crates. If Toad touches any surface of the icicle other than the very top, he will take damage and the icicle will shatter. Touching icicles during invincibility frames will not shatter them. An icicle also shatters if Toad collides with one while sliding, while under the influence of the Superstar power-up, while wearing a shelmet, attacking with the Super Hammer, and the Koopa Troopa car. An icicle that shatters will respawn in its original position after about 3 seconds. Icicles cannot be placed inside blocks, pipes, or bullet bill blasters, cannot occupy Koopa Clown cars or Lakitu's Cloud, and cannot be placed on tracks. A falling icicle travels a bit slower in liquids. So, now that we know how it works, how do we work with it? Icicles are a welcome addition to Mario Maker 2, as there seems to be no limit to what they can do. While they share similarities with their enemy friend Thwomps, they have important distinctions that set them apart. But I'm getting ahead of myself, because even at the most basic level, it'd be inadmissible to omit these whimsical popsicles. Icicles are missable in classical Mario levels. If your stage is traditional, you'll find icicles just magical, thematically practical in snowy geographical municipals. They can be central to the challenge or secondary aesthetics. Here's a handy trick for some extra thematics. Placing falling icicles across the top of your level depicts the illusion of rain starting to drizzle. Enough about simple, traditional dull, let's talk about puzzles, and even some trolls. Use icicles to activate, use them to stall. Make timers or one-way doors forcing brawls. Hide them under launchers for a sneaky surprise, or leave them out in the open to demoralize. There's no limit to what you can do with this Frozen Dew. Even harder stages utilize this fancy ice, allowing items and enemies, but not Toad, to pass by, and compared to saws, are much more pleasing to the eye. But their versatility does not stop there, as their ability in platforming go uncompared. Ride them down ravines, jumping to the next in row. Just try not to hit your head on these ferocious flow. And that's just the tip of the iceberg for this titanically useful glacier. If you'd like to learn more about the items in Mario Maker, just click on a video here that you favor. I appreciate you taking the time to stop by, and humbly ask for you to subscribe. I guess it's time for me to be done, so I bid you farewell, and we'll see you in the next one.